Okay, so today what I want to talk about specifically is how to play a disadvantaged situation, be it a 1v3, a 1v2, a 2v3, a 2v4, whatever it may be. So by this, what I mean is whenever you're in a disadvantaged situation, and let's assume you have taken a site on Dust 2, right? So you take an A site and you're in a disadvantaged situation where maybe a guy has died upper mid and then you know one was playing B. And it's a 1v2 right now. What you need to do in this situation is not immediately go for the plant because you don't know how quickly they progressed. Maybe that guy long killed someone outside of long immediately, and then he decided to fall back and go towards A site. In this situation, he could be rushing immediately up, or he could be walking up. In either scenario, he might be too close for you to know, and then he could get a surprise kill on you. Same thing if a guy is on B site and you're on A. He could come up through CT and push, or he could decide to go cat and get a lucky position. As you're planting bomb on A site, he could be walking across, and he could be in the middle of cat as you're planting bomb. As you plant bomb and you come up and you go to peek cat, you could be in the middle of it. So in either scenario, you need to be cognizant of this. So in that regard, instead of immediately planning, what you should do is try to isolate a 1v1, especially if you know both enemies are separated. If you know one's long and one's B, try to isolate one of the 1v1s. Peek towards long and get the kill, or peek down towards CT and try to get the kill, or even jump down towards CT. Fight that real quick. In my opinion, in either scenario, it is better to do a 1v1 fight instead of planting bomb and accepting a potential 1v2. Because within a pug scenario, even if the enemy team isn't coordinated, they have that off chance to help each other. Now, what is important to note is let's assume that you know that they're not coordinated. Like every single time you go out long, there's only one person there and they never adapt, for example. You push out long, you get that one kill, and then you're pushing and then you're waiting, right? And you know they don't coordinate. Maybe they have a guy on cat and he just holds there. Maybe they have a guy towards CT and he just holds. And maybe the other two that are playing on B don't rotate, right? They just hold on B. Then in that scenario, if you know that they're uncoordinated, as you're pushing long, and let's assume your teammates die crossing for whatever reason, it's a 1v4, right? Your teammates die crossing, you make it onto site, but you know they're uncoordinated, then specifically in this scenario, it is okay if you want to plant, right? It's okay to want to plant in that scenario because you know they're going to be discoordinated and they shouldn't exactly peak at the same time because you can still isolate 1v1s afterwards. You can isolate the 1v1 towards cat, you can isolate the 1v1 towards CT, towards long, whatever you would want to do. However, if they are coordinated, you should not ever plant the bomb unless for some whatever reason all four went towards B site in this scenario and they're not rotating. That's the only time that you should ever plant the bomb because it is a higher priority on the list to first take a 1v1, take whatever advantage you can and make that 1v1 into a 1v3 instead of planting the bomb and be stuck in a 1v4. So again, your priority number one is to take 1v1s. Specifically, too, if they're coordinated, and even if they're not coordinated, you want to take 1v1s as much as possible. It is okay to plant if they're all the way on the other site, or if you think that they're so discoordinated that you can get away with a plant and it will potentially help you win the round, right? Otherwise, take as many 1v1 fights as possible. Now, when you're in a clutch, you also want to put yourself into a position, especially in a disadvantage, right? In a 1v2 or 1vx situation. Put yourself in a position where you can isolate 1v1s. So not only are you trying to take 1v1s, but you're trying to isolate them. So you don't want to be pushed up on a site taking fights cat, for example, or taking fights long, or taking fights towards CT, because you're open from too many different variables. Instead, what you want to do is play behind box so you're not seen from long and you're not really seen from CT and fight cat. And when you don't see anyone cat, you'll peek towards long. And if you don't see anyone long, peek towards cat again, peek down towards CT. And sometimes you're going to have to be open up to multiple different variables, right? Sometimes when I peek down towards CT, I'm open up from cat and CT. Or if a guy pushes up long towards door, I can be opened up to that. But what I'm trying to do here is trying to isolate from being seen completely from long. If I'm peeking towards cat from right here, on top of ledge on A site, I'm seeing from long pit, I'm seeing from CT, I'm seeing from A. So in a disadvantage, isolate the 1v1s. Maybe, for example, you think 2 are long, 1 CT, and 1 cat. Well, what you're going to want to do is instead of holding on site and peeking as per normal, you're going to want to push. Push cat. You can't be seen from long, can't be seen from CT. Push cat, get that kill. Then push CT, get that kill. And then it's a 1v2. Think properly whenever you're in a specific scenario on how you can isolate them. If there's 1 long, 2 cat, and 1 CT, I'm not going to want to peek cat. Instead, I want to push long, so maybe I'll go down to ramp. And sure, I don't have any cover, but if I can win this fight, I can go and peek down towards CT real quick. Maybe I don't win that, but I can isolate 1v1s between CT and between cat. If I know 3 are coming CT and only 1's long, then I can run towards cat and try to isolate best I can. Or stay on a headshot angle where it's hard and difficult to hit me. And then I can fall back either towards ninja or I can fall back over towards cat and play either of the 2 scenarios. But try to be as intelligent as possible. Isolate 1v1s and prioritize 1v1s within these specific scenarios. And that's how you can win a 1vx situation. Because a lot of the issues that I see is a player will immediately go towards a plant. And while they're planning, the enemy is able to push up cat and to get into a very good position. The enemy will be able to push up long and get into a good position. And the enemy will be able to push up CT and get into a good position. While you plant, all you're doing is giving free real estate to the enemy. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind, any actions you do, the enemy will somehow respond to it. So try to take as much advantage as you can.